personal growth, um, life lessons evolving through different cycles. Okay. Um, what do I want to start with today? Imhotep, welcome to my channel, Cedar's World. My name is Cedar Moon Raat. I am an intuitive healer, a community organizer, and an entrepreneur. I own Nine Lives Apothecary, which I have 5 different herbal tea blends, and I also do readings, personal. I do not do love readings, so don't expect to come to me for that. Mainly, what I do is help provide guidance for personal growth, spiritual growth, and to be aligned with your purpose through God. And I also am a Reiki Master Healer. Okay. What else can I say about myself? I would like to thank my sponsor, Toluno, for sponsoring this video. Toluno is who you call when you need to talk. And with that said, we're going to get started. Today's herb, we have cinnamon. I have a cinnamon stick that I've been burning. I think it's May 2nd. So that's the energy of needing balance, duality, and spirit is saying to me patience and forgiveness, which is not something that I always equate with the number 2, but here we are. First of all, let me show you my cute nails that I did all by myself. Now, let me tell you, it took me 5 hours to do the 10 because I haven't did my nails in so long. And girl, let me turn on some lights. It's dark as hell in here. What did I do? I didn't finish the other hand. That was 2 days ago. That might help a little bit. Yeah, I think that's gonna help just enough. Okay. So let's get started. Today I'm going to be using Modern Witch Tarot deck by Lisa Sterl and also the Kaleidodope deck. That one is by Crystal Banner. And then we're going to get started with a passage from the Osho Zen Tarot. At first things first, before I get into it, I was just watching Cadillac Chronicles. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but I am a huge music head, so I really enjoy that channel. What he does is he drives around Atlanta with different music artists in his car and they perform their songs. So I was just watching the one with T.I. And first of all, I love T.I. I love T.I. for so many reasons, but one huge reason I love him is the way that he shows up for his community in Atlanta. Another reason I admire him is the type of business person he is. Another reason I admire him is that he doesn't get stuck in any version of himself. Like, I love that he's open to change and growth. He's constantly always dropping gems. Like, I love that about T.I. He shared a couple things. One, they were talking about growth, and he was saying that to cultivate an environment of peace, sometimes you have to become the lion first so that you can become the sheep. So I feel like we might need to hear that. So let's see. We're gonna do some bibliomancy. Oh, okay. Completion. I love that. The energy of 10. And to me, that's so aligned with the energy of Saturday because, like I said, Saturn is for moving through cycles, okay? It's about progressive growth, it's about learning lessons, it's about reaching a new level of ascension. Um, and this is what this card looks like if it was coming out today. It's like a puzzle piece. Last night I was having a virtual date with my kids and I sent them some Legos. Um, I love Legos because they, to me, signify like manifestation in the material world in a sense of like building something, putting pieces together for it to become a thing. And I think that's where we are right now is putting pieces of ourselves together to become a thing, putting pieces of elements of maybe like a business or relationships for it to become a thing. It's about bringing something from your mind into the physical reality. So here's what they say. Here, the last piece of a jigsaw puzzle is being put into its place. The position of the third eye, the place of inner perception. Even in ever-changing flow of life, there are moments in which we come to a point of completion. In these moments, we are able to perceive the whole picture, the composite of all the small pieces that have occupied our attention for so long. In the finishing, we can either be in despair because we don't want the situation to come to an end, or we can be grateful and accepting of the fact that life is full of endings and new beginnings. Whatever has been absorbing your time and energy has now come to an end. In completing it, you will be clearing the space for something new to begin. Use this interval to celebrate both the end of an old and the coming of the new. So, in traditional tarot, this card will be the World card, okay? And on a high vibration, it's about achievement and fulfillment, okay? And it's really about the efforts that we've made in the past paying off in this current moment, okay? And it's saying that we have completed a major cycle. Now, in these moments where we start to, we're at the end of the beginning of the end, depending on what your perception is of what's happening, you might tend to either see things as achievement and fulfillment, or that you completed a major cycle and you're able to celebrate in that, or you might lean towards the negativity in such which ways that you're not taking the necessary steps to complete your goals. You're not really focused on what you need to be focused on, and there's a lack of closure. Hi from Brazil. So, what this card says is this is the way of Zen. Not to say things to their completion, this has to be understood. It's a very important methodology. Not to say everything means to give an opportunity to the listener to complete it. All answers are incomplete. The master has only given you a direction. By the time you reach the limit, you will know what is going to remain. This way, if somebody is trying to understand Zen intellectually, he will fail. It is not an answer to the question, but something more than the answer. It is indicating the very reality. The Buddha nature is not something far away. Your very consciousness is Buddha nature, and your consciousness can witness these things which constitute the world. The world we're in, but the mirror will remain, mirroring nothing. This is a really great energy. This is a really great energy. Hi. So, with that being said, I'm gonna first jump into the Modern Witch Tarot, and I'm gonna use Kaleidodope to clarify. Okay. So let's start with that. I was saying this in one of my videos recently, how I have like the tiniest hands. It's often so difficult for me to shuffle these decks or do anything with them, more or less, because why? Whose hands are these made for? I know they want a big illustration on the whole card. I get it, but like I can't even shuffle. So I'm splitting the deck on the Eight of Cups and the Devil, and it shows me that we're walking away from toxic cycles. Shuffle it up, honey. Okay. All right. The Spirit says one more. Okay. So right now, can you guys see? Maybe I should turn these upside down for you to see, so that you can read them. Yeah, I think you would be able to read them if you turn them upside down. Okay. And with that being said, now the energy is I'm reading it wrong. I was almost gonna read it wrong for you guys. So, first of all, there's a lot of wands energy here. And wands is days, months, weeks, years. Wands is, I want to say it's weeks. Wands is weeks. So there's a lot of you'll be able to see all the options available to you within the next couple of weeks, 3 weeks. Then within the next 3 weeks, Spirit is saying. So what we're looking at when we see Three of Wands here is taking a moment to pause and reflect. Okay. Three of Wands has this energy of longing, of waiting, if that makes sense. What letter? um, it has a sense of waiting and longing for something, okay? And right now, we're in the space of reflection. And so, what it may seem like for some people perceiving the energy is that you're just waiting on something to happen. But Spirit said it's very necessary to pause and reflect, okay? When we don't pause and reflect, we start to become overtaken by whatever energies, hi Cookie Crafts, whatever energies might be happening at the time. Sometimes we get overtaken by that, and then we become in this energy of lack of gratitude. Okay, so it's necessary right now for you to pause and reflect and really just see what's going on. More than anything, communicating, pausing and reflecting before you communicate, and it's super important. Okay. With the Four of Cups, we have this is the energy of entitlement. That's the best way for me to really explain that. Is Four of Cups is the energy of entitlement. Okay, when you feel like the ego is so big where you feel that you deserve something just because. Can you guys see? Maybe. If you feel like you deserve something just because, that's like not a good enough reason. Okay, so somebody's moving in the upward direction. Someone's moving in the upward direction, not just physically moving, but maybe a promotion. This promotion is going to require you to grow mentally. It's going to require you to make a decision to leave immature. Bye. Have a great day. It's going to require you to be more mature in the way that you make decisions and process your thoughts and emotions. With the King of Swords here, clarifying the Three of Wands, this tells me that you often get stuck in your head a lot while you are in this waiting energy. And what we need to be doing, instead of like just uh, waiting, we should be resting. So I have a wellness brand. It's called Well Rested, and it's a travel company. I do a sound bath. I plan retreats, and I teach people about nervous system regulation. I encourage people to participate in a daily lifestyle of fulfillment where they are doing little things every day to pour into themselves to prevent burnout. Okay. And so rest can be a number of things. It's just all about what you need in the moment to regulate your nervous system. So, rest could be going on a trip. I am planning a trip to Costa Rica if you're interested. The details will be linked there. The details definitely linked in my link tree, which you'll be able to find in any of the descriptions of my videos. Rest is also exercise. Rest is physical sleep. Rest is taking time to be alone. Rest is so many things, but like I said, it comes down to what you need at the moment to feel safe and secure within your body. So in this moment of us kind of like waiting, don't wait to rest. This is the time. The alignment is made for you to have this space in your life to pour into yourself and have more rest. And as you rest, as you regulate your nervous system, you have no choice but to become more grateful. People who don't have much have the most gratitude because there's something in their mindset that tells them there could possibly not be more. So they have to take advantage and appreciate every little thing that they have. When people have so much and they're constantly receiving, it's easy to get into this Four of Cups energy where you feel like something's just never enough, you know? And once again, it's just a lot of mental battles that you've been having struggles with. But as you lean more into rest, as you lean more into nervous system regulation, you'll be coming out of the Nine of Swords energy and moving more into the energy of having more gratitude. Okay. Um, the best way to get out of your head is to get into your body. So that looks like physical movement, going out dancing, doing yoga, going to the gym to work out, going outside on a run, taking a little nature hike. All of those things are going to help you to find more balance in your physical body, help you regulate your nervous system. And on top of that, it's also going to help you to have more creative ideas, okay? There's a lot of creation right now within your aura, and it's only up to you to choose to create it, if that makes sense. God is constantly sending you channel messages and ideas right now that you have the choice of if you want to take advantage of it or not. When we look at Eight of Pentacles, this is a lot of opportunities for financial abundance, specifically in which you yourself is control of creating. Okay, it's like one thing that I always say is like my life is a movie or whatever. And so my life is a movie, your life is a movie. We're all main characters in our own story, but we have to write that story to create the reality in which we want to exist in. We can't just go with the flow and then think that one day, because we're thinking about things a lot, that it's going to manifest for us. The way that manifestation works is meeting your intention with aligned action. And so, Eight of Coins is asking you to create the reality in which you currently have the capacity to sustain. And it's okay if right now you're in Three of Wands, Four of Cups energy and you don't have the capacity, but be honest with yourself about that. Because when you're honest and reflect about the capacity that you do or don't have to give to any person, place, or thing, then you can draw back, like I said, take a step, process your emotions, and when you do return, it's in a more balanced position. Okay. Right now, we have a lot of blockages coming up, and not so much as external energies creating blockages for us, but blockages that we create for ourselves and calling it boundaries. We're moving more into an environment of self love, self actualization. And to order to do that, we have to speak nicer into ourselves. We have to cultivate a relationship in which we trust ourselves. And the easiest way to cultivate trust within yourself is to create a plan and then follow through on it so that you can say to yourself, at least I did it, you know? Um, okay. Oh, okay. So further clarifying Nine of Wands, we got Five of Cups here. And this is a lot of emotional changes that we're going through right now at this time. So it can be more difficult, to trust yourself and to trust people when you're not emotionally balanced. But as we move away from the mental anguish, we start to cultivate, that dream that we want, the reality in which is for our highest good, that Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is not just about the wishes that you have for yourself and your life and your family. It's about being in alignment with God's purpose for your life and allowing God to create that abundance for yourself. sometimes we be trying to go, 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 do. And it's really important that we rest, and let God take the front seat and drive the car sometimes. Fitness is super important right now. During this rest time, it's very important for you to work on your physical body. I'm initiated into Kemetic spirituality, and I love to research like ancient Egyptian um, lifestyles and rituals and spiritual practices that they may have done in ancient Egyptian. And there's this one right now that I'm completely fascinated with, and it's like when I'm trying to link this video if I can find it, but it's essentially like when you please spirit, don't let me lose this. Thank you. It's like trying to they're trying to Dumbledore me, girl. Like they're trying to pull it right up out of my brain so that I can't really say what I'm trying to say. Um, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back. Um, I think that there's a pregnancy. It could be physical for sure, or it could be of an idea. Is extreme feminine energy coming towards? So maybe you're having a girl. There's a lot of creation here, okay? This is Empress energy. And so instead of leaning into that lack mindset, it's really time to rise to the occasion and be who God called you to be, okay? Um, we're moving away from emotional immaturity and moving into really being the most strengthened in our full power. Feminine energy is the most strengthened when we are creative because that was what feminine energy is to do, is to create. I wish I could remember what I was saying about this. Um, things are working out for your highest good. That's one thing that you need to know right now. Okay, period. So things are working out for your highest good because God has called judgment in your life, okay? Sometimes this might look like things not working out for you, but one of my favorite Marilyn Monroe quotes is sometimes you have to let something good go so that something better can replace it, to receive something better. Sometimes you have to let go of something good to receive something better. Take these. Oh, love this. Okay. So to close out the reading, we got Six of Wands, and I literally just heard Spirit say like, "Oh, they on a high horse." There's a lot of ego going on right now. And as we start this new beginning, God wants you to know that you have all the tools that you have inside of you. But don't allow your ego to be so big that you're afraid to ask for help or that you're afraid to communicate your needs, which when you do need assistance, okay? Um, Six of Wands is about leaning into unconditional love for yourself. It's about understanding that there's no such thing as mistakes. It's about lessons learned. It's about each mistake that we make is an opportunity for growth. So instead of having this negative mindset, we're moving into really this Ace of Wands energy. To me, this Ace of Wands, and this is like the most important energy than anything. Where'd I go? Okay. Clean some of these. So this is where we are right now. As we shed the negativity, and let me tell you something. When we say, "Oh, we're shedding negativity, we're growing," like the thing about growth is that it's constant. That's like how energy is. You cannot destroy energy. You can only transmute it. You can only change it. You cannot destroy it. So it's like as we're moving into that energy, be patient with yourself. Have grace for where you are in the tools that you currently have. Have grace for past versions of yourself and the tools that you had in that moment. Okay, Spirit's telling me to flip it. Okay, so we're going to be traveling soon, and you're going to be entering into a winning season. Okay, and that has a lot to do with travel. Maybe you might be like me. Maybe you're a travel agent. Maybe you enjoy traveling. There's 5 people in the chat. 5 controls movement, flexibility, challenge, travel, pleasure. If that's something you're interested in, send me a message or comment below. If that's something you're interested in, becoming your own travel boss, I can help you with that. We're leaning into more flexibility. Thank you, Spirit. No. So as far as Empress energy and 9 of coins, the more that you lean into this creative energy, of course, as long as you do have balance mentally and emotionally, then you are going to manifest and produce more financial abundance, okay? And then when it comes to Ace of Wands, when we're talking about these new creative ideas that are coming to you, thank you, Spirit. It's about the direction in which you choose to take. It's about the direction in which you choose to take. And boundaries are good. Boundaries are not good to the point where, that's what I was going to say, is when you let your ego get to the point where you feel like it can't be you who loses a friendship, it can't be you who gets fired from a job, your ego sometimes puts you in a position of thinking that nothing bad can happen to you. And one thing they were saying in that Cadillac Chronicles video is that God did not say there would not be weapons. He said that they will not prosper. Okay. And right now, I feel like we're in a kind of a protective energy. We want to protect ourselves, and so we're creating all these little blockages around us, and it's hurting us because it confuses our creative energy. You cannot create and also be in the same space of lack, of thinking that you have to shield or protect yourself, because divine love is sharing. It's sharing knowledge. Okay. That's really all that God asks of us. I was reading a Bible verse not too long ago, and the message was saying that God does not need us to have altars. God don't even need us to go to church. God needs us not even to spread the word of God. God needs us to lead by example through the word of God. So we have to ask ourselves, like, well, that cannot be in God's nature to hide yourself or to shield yourself from people and from the world. That's what's ultimately creating these blockages for yourself, because you're hiding yourself, and in turn, it is creating creative blockages within yourself, which I can relate to on some real shit. Okay. So right now we're just in a season of growth right now, and it's divine growth. This is a season that God has intentionally and purposely put you into. And let me put this over here. We're moving away from Ten of Swords, okay? There's another card in this deck that's just like this, and it's Ten of Swords, but it says everything is fine, okay? Get off of your phone. You need a social media break. If you don't take any advice from me from this whole reading, take that advice that it's very important for you to rest right now. And that also includes social media detox, okay? That's something that I've been doing. I might hop on, but when I get on social media, it's only when I'm feeling the most confident, the most secure, because otherwise it can kind of like contribute to the warping in your brain, especially with the algorithm. So whatever it is that you're thinking negatively about yourself, as soon as you open up social media, it's gonna manifest into your timeline. And if you think your boyfriend cheating you, as soon as you open up, it's gonna be 10 videos that be like, yeah, your boyfriend's cheating. If you feel poor and broke down, as soon as you open social media, it's gonna be 10 videos saying this is why you poor and broke down. It's like be have discernment, and at all times know how you feel in the moment so you can know what you need and the purpose and the intention behind it. What are you using social media for? If you're using it for escape, well, that is a form of codependency and abuse. Once it becomes escapism, it's addictive. Okay. And so if you start feeling that way when it comes to social media, it's time to get up off of that thing like that ass. Okay. Um, yeah. And with Eight of Swords, I see that this is something that has plagued you mentally for multiple timelines, not just this one in the here and the now, and not just this lifetime, but it's always been something for you. As far as your mental and emotional health, you can expect it to turn around um, within 8 to 10 months. I know that seems like a long time, but it's not a long time. When you have not been prioritizing rest, when you have not been focused on nervous system regulation, and you just been going and going and going, it always leads to burnout. And I read something a few months ago, and they said that like when you burn out, it actually takes about a year and a half to recover from burnout. So you have to ask yourself um, why it is that you still participate in those things that burn you out in the first fucking place. And then Two of Wands here, I feel like you just feel stuck between a rock and a hard place. I know with me personally, when it comes to social media, I feel like I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. If I participate in it, a lot of it feels fake for me, unreal. But sometimes it could be the best for my ego, but the worst for my self esteem. But then it's like I also need to use it for business. And I don't know if you do need to use it for business. I don't know that you do. And I'm not saying that you don't, but I don't know that you do. I think you have a choice. It just depends on your actions and stuff. You could choose not to engage in social media at all and truly build a business based off of word of mouth and actual community building in real life. That's the thing. You could do something that other people are not doing. I want to pull one more card from each of these decks, and then I'm going to read it from the guidebook. Spirit, please. And what did I say? Everything is fine. One card, please, Spirit. What is it that the collective needs to hear right now? What is going to be the best message from the Color and Culture Guidebook? Thank you, Spirit. Flip it. Okay, 4 cups. All right, let's go with the Kaleidodope first. So it says lack of interest, rejection, boredom, unimpressed, hesitation, delusioned, and being over it. It says someone doesn't want what someone else is selling. The illustration shows that from the woman's view, there is nothing in the cups. Therefore, she is uninterested. She shoves the cups inside to hopefully make room for something else that will catch her attention. There's like an energy of disappointment here. Maybe of like something that you thought that something was going to be and it didn't pan out to be that way. Know that everything happens the way that it should. One, you learned valuable um, information through this experience. And two, the best thing about empty cups is now that you get to choose with what you want to fill it with. Okay, you have options. You got choices on what you want to do. We're gonna do. Everything is fine. It's fine, really. Sure, you've been completely pierced through with 10 sharp shores and you've collapsed into a ball on the floor. You're struggling, just trying to survive, and the weight grows heavier. You're going through something truly soul crushing, and it feels like your world is ending. Every movement hurts, and sometimes only a meaningless distraction feels like it'll help. But the pain will end, and you will come out stronger having survived it. Okay, period. That's what Spirit wants you to know. Once again, a shout out to my sponsor, Toluno. Toluno is who you call when you need to talk. Thank you guys so much for being present. Thank you guys for allowing me to access and read your energy. Um, I am mustering up some chi for you. Shy. And I'm sending you guys into the rest of the week with love, abundance, and inner peace. And you know that